So I was having a conversation earlier today with my dad, and whenever we get on the phone, we always talk basketball, sports, just society type of issues. We always have high constructive conversations. And my father had made a comment to I would like to see a Klansman or somebody of the Aryan Nation of a racist extremist group. I would like to just see them go fisticuffs with another black man, with today's modern average black man. I told my dad, I said that black man would get his ass whooped. I said, and we talked about the race war, and everybody's always talked about the race war. Listen, every war would never look the same as the last war. The wars we known prior, where they were naval and they had bombs coming off, land crafts, watercrafts, aircraft, whatever. War would never look the same. The more technology advances, the more war is going to look different. It's not like we're going to be on the street with foot soldiers shooting and firing guns at each other like they did in Vietnam. It's completely different. Matter of fact, most U.S. soldiers are actually here for us in case we have civil unrest, which these things are coming. But war is going to be cyber. War is going to be biological. War is going to be psychological. War is going to be technology. War is going to be cyber. It's not going to ever be back the way it has to be. With the way weapons are set up now through technology, people can literally get hit within their own confines of the house or the home. Non-lethal weapons. These things have been presented way back, believe like in the 80s. I don't know if anybody recall that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was called Eraser. And in that movie, he had a firearm, a weapon that even when he fired and discharged the round, if a suspect or a person running from the gun, if they turned the corner, so did that bullet. It was like a heat-seeking missile. Right? If they was inside the house, it could penetrate through a house. I remember when the AK-47 came out, people was purchasing that, street people, because they figured it could penetrate through walls, right? So the war is never going to look like where, people just lining up and just going to be shooting at each other like it did, and I guess in the Spartacus days or the Game of Thrones type of days, right? However, because I can get off into how war could really start. But the reason why I told my father that today's modern black man would get his ass whooped is because we are looking and witnessing the most effeminate, beta, soft men we've ever seen in our life. Emotionally unintelligent, out of shape, not well studied, refuses to get education, refuses to self-improve, still with boy-like priorities, playing video games like a kid. When we were young in our generation, man, we was done playing video games right before we started to hit our 20s. And actually, I was never really a video game dude. I did play Double Dribble. I did play Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I did have an Atari. I did have ColecoVision. Yes, I'm dating myself. Those were the golden days anyway. However, I think there's more of a warrior spirit in our women than it is our men. Neely Fuller said in 1967 that black men, will be wearing dresses. And as you see right now in society, what do you see? Black men wearing dresses, black men thinking that they're women. And again, I have to always put this out here for the simple minds. I have nothing against anybody of the LGBT community. I have nothing against anybody of a particular sexual orientation, but we're dealing with the facts. This is why every time you look on TV, they always show a black man as homosexual, goofy, silly, unintelligent, out of shape. But when you look at the white male, he's slender. He has a nice build. He's intelligent. He's a problem solver. He's seen with tools, driving a truck, steering in the cattle. And guess who admires him in most of these commercials and these videos and movies? Is a black woman. Now, a lot of brothers get enraged and get upset about that. And we have to own our own narrative, right? But I understand. I understand why they're doing this thing. It's programming. Programming is the most powerful thing in the world. Just like these narratives. People are not smarter than narratives. But the reason why I say black men of today will get their ass whooped, I've seen countless social media videos where brothers will stand there and talk shit to a white man or a white boy over and over again and never strike them. But I have seen videos of black women who have to deal with a white male, an aggressive white male or a white woman, and they will knock the hell out of them without thinking twice. And we got the nerve to call our women bitches. I've seen videos where a supposed member of the black community who's supposed to be respected as a gangster, they had a white boy on there come over there. He's a prankster, and he used the word boy when he deals with men of color. I've seen this same so-called gangster from the West Coast show so much grace to white boys when they come on the show, call him bro, give him grace. But I've also seen him attack his own within a heartbeat and ready to go fisticuffs and ready to go to war. When you look at these young men out in the street, what do you see? You see them rocking around sandals and slides. They walking around with man purses. You know, people say that's just the style. That's just the way it is. That's cap, right? That's complete cap. I got that from my daughter. She always be thinking her lips are dry. I guess I'm the same way. But when you look at these young white males, the one thing that you see, they're in shape. They in the gym. And I'm not saying that the brothers aren't, right? But they're in shape. They got on boots and work jeans, a white tee, might be a little dirty, might be a little grungy. They out working, 90-degree weather, rain, sleet, or snow, and they got a gun on their waist. But I'm noticing a lot of brothers, man, you know what I'm saying? They doing daily brunches like women. They want to be in the house. They want to be cute. They want to look cute. I'm telling you, the 3 U's that are going to get our women and children hurt is for today's modern black man to bear. He's unaware, unwilling, and unprepared. Now that may be kind of triggering for some people to hear that, but I'm telling you an ultimate truth. And we have to get around our young men and help them guide the way. You know, I was against the skinny jean things, but I'm not necessarily saying that if a man wore skinny jeans, he's gay. Because let's not forget, when hip hop first started, a lot of rappers, Grandmaster Flash, you know, a lot of those old school rappers, Sugar Hill Gang, quite a few of them, they were wearing skinny, tight jeans. Hell, they were even wearing leather and spikes and permanent hair. But we understood them not to be gay. When we look at the NBA of the 70s, the ABA, right? They were wearing those tight shorts. We call them nut huggers. You know what I'm saying? Them shorts to stop right at the mid portion of their thigh where they had them long tube socks that go to their knees. But we knew they were not gay. But we understand the social engineering of young black men has been by purpose and by design. And what does our community always do? We always give an excuse for being at our lowest form. We say it's fashion. We say it's style. We say it's the new way. And it may be. But how many of us know these young black men? How many can you count on one hand that you know that are emotionally intelligent? How many do you know that have more tools in their closet than they do Jordans? How many do you know are even in shape or even know how to fight anymore? Hand-to-hand combat. When we grew up, everybody noticed growing up in the black community in the 70s and 80s, you step in the streets, you better learn how to use them hands. Our parents did a lot of bullying. See, you know how they talk about these kids dealing with bullying and stuff like that. We look at this like this is crazy. We never had to deal with anything like this because our parents made us go deal with the bully. Or somebody say something about a kid online, this kid go kill themselves. Like, that's really crazy for me to gather. How could you allow somebody to say something to you online and then go kill yourself? However, people always ask, what will bring us together as a people? I said if there was an all-out assault and attack on us, because we have no choice but to stand together and fight each other, fight against them, because until that happens, we have nobody else to fight but each other. So the thing, what I'm trying to get people to understand is we have to get men back to being men. Has nothing to do with fashion, has nothing to do with the music that they listen to, because every generation is going to have their music. Like when my father and them was coming up, it was the Temptations. I'm pretty sure the black church said if you listen to the Temptations, you're going to hell. When we came up, it was NWA. Right? When they came up, you know what I'm saying? It's people like Little Uzi Vert. You know, people like young, the little Yachty dude, and all these other weird rappers. But it's their time. It's weird to us, but it's not weird to them. But what we have to understand, young men, because I'm about young men and I'm about black fatherhood. You have to get back to owning your own narrative. I could recall as a child growing up in the 70s, whenever a black man was present, white men shivered about shitting in their pants where they stood from and would never raise their waist against a black man. Because growing up in my era, you know what I'm saying, we never seen black men out of shape. We never seen black men feminized. You know, yeah, they were wearing bell bottoms a little tight around the waist, but we knew they were of manhood. They protected the community. They protected the women. They wasn't whooping up on women. There's always been domestic violence. Let me put that out there because I don't want to marginalize anybody who's been through that to overlook that is a problem, has been a problem. But never in my days of growing up as a child would I stand back and witness a man whooping on a woman and men did not come together and whoop his ass. I remember one time we was leaving from a basketball league. Me and my good partner D, we had just played a long fought game, basketball league. I'm tired, he tired, but we was driving through Western Missouri. We was passing Charles Brown Center right before we got on St. Charles Rock Road, and the dude was beating the hell out of a woman. And I was halfway asleep until D put the car in park. Like, yo, bro, let's get out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the hell was going on. But we got out the car and we dealt with that young man. And we approached him like, yo, bro, you wrong for this. We ain't trying to come fight you, but you can't do this. And it was crazy because the young lady was shocked, like, yo, y'all really came to help me. This is why a lot of our women say they don't feel protected. And they have a legitimate case. They have a legitimate reason to feel this way. I've seen on so many times, and even on social media, a whole block of young men will stand by, watch another man whoop a girl like he's a dude, and nobody come to that young lady's aid. And then you got the nerve to wonder why they got attitudes, you know, and you wonder why they don't trust us. You wonder why they don't speak to us. You wonder why they don't make eye contact. We have to get to the point where we value our women so we can also cherish our children as well. But if you're going to walk around here just as soft, just as unintelligent, out of shape, don't want to get yourself together, don't want to put down the weed and the liquor, don't want to put away the lean that is completely altering the greatness of your genetics and your DNA, what else do you expect our women to do? Why do you expect our children to respect us when we don't have nothing in works for them to protect them and show them the right way? And I know people say some masculinity can be toxic. You know what? I don't even know who coined toxic masculinity, but it is a truth, but to a small degree. But you cannot ever mar, smear, or darken masculinity. As far as how a person would define it, masculinity is simply a man in his greatness solving problems and being in control of your masculinity. Masculinity is not dominant. Masculinity is not controlling. Masculinity is not narcissistic. Masculinity is not toxic. Masculinity is always willing to get rid of the 3 U's: unprepared, unwilling, and unaware. A lot of our young men are unaware about the system that's against them and that they are targeted. A lot of our young men are unprepared for an aggressive attack, even if it's within their own community. And a lot of our young men are unwilling to refine and change to do for the better. Now, once they get of a certain age, I think it was the old wise man said, once they get to 8, it's too late. A lot of my daughters and her friends, they're like 7 years old and they're going to school and they writing notes to each other, to the young boys and my BFF. And I like, at 7 years old, we wasn't even thinking about, well. I can't say that, not for myself at least. But our young men and women are our greatest gift. These are the people who will maintain our community moving into the future. So we have to show our young men what masculinity looks like outside of what hip hop is telling them, what the TV is telling them, what their peers are telling them, what these new political movements are telling them. There's nothing wrong with standing strong in who you are as a man. I encourage and I admire any young man who has tools, who knows how to fix a car. You know, go to the country, go out to the country with a couple of your guys. Don't go to the club, go to the country. You know what I'm saying? Start tactically training how to use guns and how to hunt. And guess what? Let me say this now. I don't want to you can never just put one side or be biased about anything. There are plenty of brothers. There are plenty of black survival groups that are out there up and running. But there's not enough young men who are involved or being influenced by these brothers. There are plenty of brothers that I know, they get together, they sit around, fellowship, we shoot our guns, we teach each other certain things. You know, we teach each other how to survive off the land, water supply, food, starting fires, just the simple basic things, because a lot of us have been domesticated. So if they did have a shutdown, that shutdown is coming. If they did understand that the food shortage is coming, do you know how to survive off the land? A lot of people grow their own food. If you're not using those old seeds, those same old seeds to regrow your food, because they damn sure gonna shut it down in the stores. They're already doing it with the whole food markets. Little be known to many people. So what I need young men to understand, talk to an OG and understand what masculinity looks like outside of your social engineering through the bludgeoning of social media, music, and TV, because they're all lying to you. It's just like that Ice Cube song with him and Scarface. It's the hand of the dead body. He said, nigga, don't believe that song. That nigga's wrong. Gangsters don't live that long. And that's the truth. So young man, take that purse off. Get yourself together in the gym. Because see, a lot of times I wonder, are black men in the gym working out because they want to be attracted to black women or women in general? Or are you in that gym working out because you're preparing for war? Let me tell you something. When I'm at that gym, I can clearly see there's 2 different reasons why white men are working out and why black men are working out. White men are always prepared for war. They can cook it to you and hand it to you on a plate. Black men are in there to look cosmetically good to women, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to be working out, preparing for war or any aggressive attack. Again, war may never come the way that we think it is, because that's just like we seen on January 6th when they invaded Capitol Hill. It took inside people for that to happen. It took inside intel for that to happen. So what am I saying to you? We're in like Ice Cube said in Higher Learning, we behind enemy lines. Our enemies that don't look like us control everything. If they really wanted to engage war, they don't have to fire one round. All they got to do is cut out your Wi-Fi. Y'all remember a couple of days ago when the Wi-Fi cut out and everybody was losing their damn mind? It's just no different than when them cutting off the food supply. Y'all remember when Popeye's chicken ran out of chicken and everybody was in the streets fighting and going crazy? Do y'all remember that? These things can happen. They control the grid. They control everything. I know people that can't go 15 minutes without wanting to snack and eat something else. We need to prepare yourselves for war, aggressive attack. You need to prepare yourself for things that are about to come. We are about to, 2024, they say it's going to be a weird year. And while people, when I say you're unaware, people, my people, every day, the only thing they're concerned with is partying and bullshit. While at the same time, those who are in power are starting to set up and initialize things that is going to alter our lives and catch us with our pants down again. Listen, COVID was enough for me. I remember they had the 2K bug. I remember when they said 2012, the world was going to end. COVID was enough for me to get my stuff together. Because I can remember that I had been preaching about people to get guns and firearms and people wasn't listening. But then when COVID came, everybody was running to the gun stores trying to purchase a gun. Bullets was running out. Guns was running out. And I'm telling you right now, it was like a news flash when they said that there's a gun shortage in America. There's a bullet shortage in America. I'm telling you on firsthand account, my gun man, who I buy most of my guns from, a young white man, right? Real good friends. I don't care that he may be a part of a white extremist group. I don't have a problem with anybody tribal, you know what I'm saying, getting with a tribe. But the one thing he told me, he said, hey, can you get down here? Because what they said on the news is wrong. You and I both know my people, white gun owners and shops, they're putting the guns away. They're putting the bullets away. There was never no shortage. Do you understand me? So at the same time, and I'm telling people this all the time, stop investing. Everybody want to travel and have fun and kick it. Listen, you need to take 1 year off from travel. Take 1 year off from social gathering and kicking it and clubbing. A whole year off and start to stock up on survival equipment, food, right? Generators, water. My father was doing this in the 80s and I thought he was crazy. We had nothing but gallons of jugs of water in our basement. And my dad can confirm this, my brothers can. And he used to have the Vienna sausages. I'm like, dude, what are you on? But even back then, my dad was prepared for it, right? But now, like I say, with the advent of society so advanced, we've become so relaxed and so trusting on the system. When at any given moment, our supplies can be cut off. So if I had to put a bet on the average black man I see today, getting out there and going fisticuffs with an extreme Aryan nation, an extremist, a white supremacist, I'm going to go with that white boy. White boys ain't scared of y'all no more. They're not. I remember growing up, they were terrified of black men. They not scared of white boys no more. I remember watching my nephew in an AAU game one time. I remember back when we played white teams, they were so timid and so scary. Not anymore. White boy told my nephew, he said, you trash. You ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? With my nephew, I mean, obviously he did what he gonna do. He still couldn't stop him, but it's just a simple fact that he felt comfortable telling my nephew that. Or how they just walk up on you ready to just fight. They know you can't fight anymore. Them white boys in the gym getting trained. And while y'all out here trying to chase these girls and spend all the time doing idle things that have nothing to do with constructive value, they in them gyms. They in karate dojos. They in MMA gyms. They are learning how to kick your ass. And your main concern is to chase ass. There's a difference. So I would never, ever turn my back on young black men. I would never, ever say that they are the problem of our communities, because guess what? These were once our babies. You know how they show that video of that little boy walking in the crib talking about, I'm a man, beating his chest. And everybody laughed and thought that was crazy. And then when they grow to be 18, now he's a problem. And then when people say that's not cute, that's nothing to laugh at, it's not funny on social media, they get jumped on and attacked. And then once they terrorize the community, what's the first thing they say? We need to pray. No, we need to raise these children and teach them the proper values. Listen, when I first moved down south, I didn't realize how domesticated I was because I was born on concrete. But when I got to the South, and a lot of these good brothers that I met on the softball circuit in Georgia, I'd be like, man, what you going to do, man? I'm chilling. What you going to do? I'm going fishing. I used to think that was so lame, so boring. But do you know how critical it is to know how to fish? You know how critical it is that anytime your equipment break down, you can fix it yourself. Just go to the store, get a few tools, a few nuts and bolts, and whatever fluid you need to put in the reservoir and get your machine back up cranking. Those are elite qualities. Those are elite skills. So, young black man, while I believe that you're not him, like the former generation was, you can become him. And I'm not saying all of y'all. There's a lot of young brothers that's really on it. Shout out to Brother King Randall down there in Albany, who got the schools for the boys, teaching them and raising them, learning how to deal with the police, even teaching them how to fix cars, how to put on a tie, Shout out to my man Terrence Candy, man. I recently seen him on a video where he was helping young men how to tie a tie and be men. Now, a lot of people say that's nothing. Man, listen, that's everything. Because I know he's dealing with these youth. Shout out to him. Shout out to all black men who are encouraging and showing the way for our young black men to be back and be men, to where we get our respect and we own our own narrative. Because we should ask for more for TV networks and music, for what they portray and how they show us like we're nothing. And that's a complete lie. So it makes a man like me and many other brothers like me look like unicorns, or like we don't exist, like we're dinosaurs. Right? And to the point where our women have lost so much faith in us that when they do meet a man of substance, when they do meet a man of great problem solving capabilities, he's too good to be true. And sometimes they might even perceive him to be toxic, controlling, and narcissistic, and all these little trigger words they use nowadays. It's all cliches. They'll come up with something else in about another 6 months. But I'm telling y'all, man, men, we got to be men. When you walk out that house, you have to have a distinguished presence to know that you're a man. And I always have to include my LGBT brothers, because people be like, just because a man is gay don't mean he masculine. I know a lot of homosexual brothers who are very fucking masculine. I know a lot of homosexual brothers who would kick a lot of thugs' ass. I seen it in high school. Shout out to Stacy. Well, I'm taking Brent told your ass up, Stacy. Let's just keep it a buck. But no, I ain't beat his ass. No, I don't know why sometimes I get these silly moments when I be on going live. But man, all I'm trying to say is, man, black men, no matter who you are, what your situation is, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, political affiliation, let's be men. We don't all have to agree on the same thing, because collectively, you're going to have to align with your own kind sooner or later. And other communities get it. Don't think that because all white folks on code, they don't all like each other. They don't all get along, but they understand codification. All Asians don't always see eye to eye, but they understand codification, right? All other communities, they understand codification except us. And all I'm encouraging y'all young men to do is just get back to being men. Be masculine. You know what I'm saying? Formulate your body, eat healthy. Get back in the gym, play sports, lift weights, go outside, run, play with your kids, ride bikes, go hiking, right? Do something of a masculine nature. Let's go over there and help our buddy put his yard together. Let's go over there and let's landscape. Let's cut the grass. Let's build this wood. Let's go get the supplies. And then we can sit back and drink some brews, not me, on the patio, being a accomplice of what we've done. Don't nothing really make a man feel better than when he can do for other people. Because being a man is all about selflessness. Do you understand? The last time I was in a relationship with the mother of my child, listen, as long as my family was happy, it didn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Take the debit card, do what you got to do. I don't care. As long as my family's happy, that made me feel complete as a man. But we must begin to embody the totality of everything it is being a man. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to that. I tell people all the time, my childhood heroes were the Crips, in which a lot of people haven't done any history, but Crips meant community revolution in progress. People in the community knew they were protected. Yes, it did fall off into something negative to where we turned the guns on each other for years and decades, right? It set a negative connotation in our communities, from LA to Chicago, St. Louis, Miami, Detroit, you name it, Nebraska, Omaha, parts of Texas. It just spun out of control, Cali. But we got to get back to what they stood for. And they defended the neighborhood against the spook hunters, which were the white gangs. But the one thing I can recall about the Crips and men in my father, my uncles, man, you can identify that they were men. They put fear in our heart. We didn't play games with them.
If they told us to do something, we didn't talk back. I did not want to get my ass kicked. And anybody know my dad? Shout out to my dog Ed Forson, Ole Miss alumni. When he grabbed he used to always talk about how strong my father's hand grip was. Big old forehands, hands like rocks. Nowadays, I shake one of y'all young boys' hands. It's like, what the fuck? It's like wet tissue, bro. Will you shake my hand? We got to get back to that. So all I'm saying is, man, we the greatest thing walking the earth. But you have to understand, it's all about who's putting what in these young men's mind. We got to get our young men back to not wanting to be cute and stylish, but wanting to be men. There's nothing wrong with looking like you work to being men. There's nothing wrong with working. Don't nobody want to work no more. There's nothing wrong with work. When I come home from a long day of hard work, yes, I'm tired, but I feel accomplished. This is the place where we bring sexy back to the everyday hardworking men and women who impact your life within close proximity. We want to rise above this madness, which is called black culture. Share, like, subscribe, tell a problem solver to come on in. And let me say this before I end this episode. Humanity Works podcast is going to be coming to an end because it's going to be a rebirth. And the topics are going to shift. Subject matters, the whole nine. Guests, everything is shifting. Because I'm evolving. And now, there's other things that's going to come along soon. I will have merch. I've been slipping on my podcasting game for a long time. I've uploaded, I think altogether, I've been podcasting. I didn't realize I've been podcasting that long because I've been learning. But I think altogether, with all the episodes that I have left recorded and all that I have deleted, I have recorded over 118 episodes. So I'm proud of myself. But Humanity Works podcast is about to shift. Even the name is going to change. So I got a few more episodes left in me. I'll shut it down. When I come back, it's going to be a new look, new subject matters, and particular type of guests are going to come on this show. We have to start talking about and having high level conversations. And I ain't talking about pro-black conversations. I ain't always talking about things, because when it comes to problem solving, when it comes to solutions, a lot of people think the problem has to be black. No, I tell people all the time, I'm not attached to color. I'm attached to results. And I know people don't understand that when I say that, but I'm so serious about when I say that. So for all of you that have been supporting me on this journey for the last year and a half or so, if it's been that long, about close to a year and a half or so, man, I thank you. I respect you, and I don't take you for granted. And I promise to keep the content coming. The content is only going to get better. I thank you. The biggest mistake in life that you can make is to think that you have time. And understand, let's get our boys to get the 3 U's out of their system. Being unaware, unprepared, and unwilling. Until next time, y'all, peace.
Equality versus equity. Equality means every child gets a pair of shoes. Equity means every child gets a pair of shoes that fit. That means every school district has to meet every student's individual needs.
I'm Jerry O'Green with the Black Student Advocate. We advocate for black employees and black students within the K-12 school districts. We hold school districts accountable to make sure that black students and employees are in a fair and equitable workplace.